in three.
Going for the St. Louis now.
Oh no!
Son of a bitch.
You get your two?
Yeah. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thotgor here, of course. And today we are going to take a look at a battle on Tears of the Desert, and you can see I am grouped up with Trucker. Yes, Trucker is back, and Dorge today. Now, the video, of course, is coming up a little later than normal today. It is a long weekend here in Canada, Victoria Day, I believe, so most of today I've been barbecuing outside, drinking and whatnot, so I thought I'd come in, get a video out before things got too crazy this evening. But anyway, you can see in the rune we've got Trucker in his Iowa, and then we've got Dorge in the Fletcher. So we've got a pretty good combo going here, considering, you know, that Trucker is in a battleship and I'm in the rune, and I've got some pretty good range on myself. I'm going to be providing screening for Trucker here. That's basically my whole strategy here. We don't have any aircraft carriers, so I don't necessarily need to worry about, you know, heavy airstrikes and whatnot, because as great as the rune is, the AA on the rune probably, you know, isn't as good as, say, the Baltimore, or even the Tier 9 Russian cruiser, of course. Not that great. I mean, it's decent enough on the rune, you can hold your own with it, but you know, for AA support, not so great. Now, if you outfit her specifically for AA, it's not too bad, actually. Trucker, that's how Trucker runs his Hindenburg. And I know the Hindenburg is obviously different than the rune, but that's how Trucker does it anyway. Oh, apparently there's a general software update, everyone. Whatever. We are moving over here towards the A point. You can see the majority of my team isn't actually coming with us, right? The majority of the team does seem to be up there at C, but luckily for us, not only is it myself, Dorge at this time, and Trucker, but we also have another Iowa coming with us. I forget the player's name, but it's the third ship down, that Iowa, with all the underscores in the name, and I think it was like TX or something like that. But that guy, you know, we really did benefit from having that second Iowa with us as well. Really benefited. Anyway, we are continuing along towards the A cap point here. I haven't been spotted as of yet, but you know, I'm still aware that enemy ships are probably going to be starting to come up here. There we go, I am spotted, so I know that there's a destroyer around here somewhere, and I really don't want to get into a situation where I'm going to start taking torpedoes, so I do launch off my fighter plane just in case that fighter plane might spot him, put myself back up to full speed, and we're going to just try and get ourselves into A as quick as possible. We do have a Colorado off in the distance, so I'm immediately going to start engaging this Colorado as well. You can see Trucker is engaging the Colorado, and we do have the other friendly Iowa as well, who's helping us out. Now, my aim in this match here was not really that great. The biggest thing that I managed to do this battle is basically stay alive. I don't actually get killed, so that's pretty good. But my aim just wasn't on this battle, but whatever, doesn't matter. I was there when it counted. Anyway, we see an Ibuki off in the distance as well, so I'm going to put some shots into the Ibuki. I was concerned about the broadside that I was giving the Colorados, because there's actually two Colorados back there now, so I was concerned about the broadside I was giving, so I was trying to use the island there, and then I turned away and I didn't actually go into A. It wouldn't have worked out as great, and well, actually it would have worked out better, because I'm pretty sure I would have dodged these torpedoes if I would have continued along, but whatever. I do see the torpedoes in time that I'm only actually going to take one, and where I'm on full health like this right now, I know it brings me down to about half health, but yeah, it's not such a big deal. I can repair it. It's still good to go, you know. Whatever, I'm just going to continue along, and luckily as well, Trucker didn't eat any of those torpedoes either, because you know, he's the ship that is right behind me. We can't, there he is there. You know, can't always see him because I'm screening him, right? So I'm out in front of Trucker. That's what you're trying to do here when you screen a ship. Anyway, the two Colorados are still back there behind the island. I'm looking at Trucker. I mean, he's pushing into A, so I'm just going to turn myself around. I'm going to go straight at these guys, and I'm going to start pushing into A as well. We do have the Ibuki pop up once again, and then there we can see the Hatsuharu pop up as well. So that's the destroyer that we may have to deal with here. You can see one of my friendly Iowas got a nice, massive hit on that Colorado. I don't recall if it was Trucker or not, but definitely one of them got it, so that was amazing. And we still have Dorge up now. You can see the Dorge is over there at B, right? Putting some pressure on B with the other enemy destroyers. So that's an excellent position for a Fletcher to be in, actually, because the Fletcher is a really great destroyer. I mean, I'm at the Mahan right now. I haven't actually taken out the Mahan. You can tell how excited I am for the American destroyers, but not that there's anything wrong with them. It's just I'm so used to the Japanese destroyers right now. But anyway, we have a few more shots left to put into this Ibuki, and then the Ibuki will be gone, hopefully. I'm firing off with the stern guns, which is really great. I mean, I love this about the rune, that I have the guns on the stern, so if I'm running away from something or turning away from something, I'm still able to get most of my firepower, 2/3 of my firepower on target. We do end up finishing the Ibuki, which isn't too bad at all. I do manage to get my first kill there, so that's pretty great. Now, Trucker was, afraid of the Hatsuwaru, rightly so he wasn't going to push into the A point without some sort of cruiser support. So I'm actually pushing into the A point, into the A point now, and then Trucker's going to come in behind me, and you can see more torpedoes. So we know that there's another enemy destroyer here somewhere, and then there we go, up pops the Hatsuwaru once again. I launch off some torpedoes just in case the Hatsuwaru does decide to turn and come around the island, maybe start putting some shots into me, right? Or lining up some torpedoes, so that's why I put off the torpedoes there, but I'm going to keep in a straight line. I'm just going to keep it going, try to get myself right in here to A. I do have my acoustic sonar ability popped as well, so hopefully that's going to provide me some sort of cover here, or at least early warning that something is going wrong anyway. And then we do see the Baltimore off in the distance as well, so I quickly put off a shot in the Baltimore. I'm switched over to high explosive now, and we're going to try and take down this Hatsuwaru. Really need to get this guy down. And then of course you can't forget that I still have 2 enemy Colorados. Now if you look at the score at this point in time, notice that my team only has 80 points. Yes, we are getting our asses kicked right now. And the division itself is down to Trucker and myself. Now Dorj got detonated. So that really sucks. So he's gone, but we did lose a lot of other allied ships in that process as well, where the enemy has only lost 2 ships so far. So if we lose one more of our ships, that is it. We are going to die. So now sort of the challenge is, how are we going to win? We're going to have to really play it careful here, and it really does come down to the plays that are made by myself, Trucker, and the other Iowa that is still with us, because the 3 of us just keep going. It's pretty insane. But anyway, we do have the 2 Colorados that we see. We still do have the Hatsuwaru, and it was at this point in time that I'm getting sort of confused and flustered. I don't really know what I should be firing at. I mean, I'm shooting at the Hatsuwaru, trying to do as much damage as I possibly can. I mean, I do still have armor piercing loaded because I knew the Hatsuwaru was going to pop out of sight fairly quickly, and then I'd have to switch over to the Colorado. But I really should have been switching in between ammo types here, because obviously, I could reload ammo really quickly, so it doesn't matter that I'd have to change ammo types. There we go. Trucker did take out one of the enemy Colorados, so that is fantastic, and that actually saved us. Now we're down to 70 points, and we don't have any of the caps. The enemy has all 3 caps, and they're almost at 700 points now, so it looks fairly hopeless at this point in time. But we're still not going to give up. No. We do have the enemy an enemy Baltimore here off the distance. Now this Baltimore is in a reverse. I didn't realize it when I fired off the first salvo. So now that I know that the player's in reverse, I just fire off a few more salvos just to do a bit of damage, maybe rile that guy a little, but I'm moving in here to get support, some close support here to Trucker, right? I know that the enemy Colorado is right there, and I mean the Iowa obviously is going to destroy the Trucker, or destroy the Colorado, and you can see it right there. Trucker got a nice hit on him, and then our other friendly Iowa came in and finished him off, so fantastic. Those Colorados are gone. Now we do still have the enemy Hatsuwaru, and I wasn't exactly sure, should I chase this Hatsuwaru down? No. Trucker mentioned it in TeamSpeak. He's like, alright Thotgor, we're turning around, going back into A. And exactly right. I mean, we definitely do need to go back into A here. We're going to deal with the Baltimore, we're going to cap A, and then we're going to push on to B, because now we're up to 170 points. So we did gain a lot of points here by taking out those 2 enemy Colorados. We really needed that in order to stay alive here. Now if we can take out this enemy Baltimore, that'll be just all the better, right? So I start putting shots into him, and I was fairly confident that my armor piercing was just going to obliterate this Baltimore. But I just got really shocked. I guess it must have been the angling involved, or maybe where my shells were landing against the side of the ship as opposed to landing on the deck of the ship. It just wasn't amounting to a whole lot of damage. You can see that here now as well. Now I wasn't willing to give a full turn until the Baltimore fired all his shells all his turrets at me, because I really wanted to limit the damage I was going to take here. So you can see I put a full salvo into the Baltimore, didn't do a whole lot of damage, kind of confused as to what's going on, but I really think I just wasn't aiming properly. My shells are landing against the side of his ship at a high angle, and it's just bouncing off, right, because he's angled as well. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We do have the Baltimore gun. The friendly Iowa took him out, so that's fantastic. So we got a cap A now. We do have a friendly destroyer, or sorry, a friendly battleship who is capping, well, a friendly ship anyway, who's capping B. So this is really helping us out, and we do still have some allied ships up there at C as well to provide some sort of opposition. So there we go. We just took B. We've almost capped A. You do need to keep in mind that we do still have the Hatsuharu around here. Now I'm the cruiser. I've got two battleships with me, so obviously I'm going to be the one who wants to get out there, close the distance with the to the enemy destroyer. It's important, though, I mean, to keep in mind the screening role in all of this, because you really don't want to just go hunt down the destroyer, because now, you know, you're opening up the distance too much between yourself and your friendly battleships, and you're no longer really screening your friendly battleships anymore. All you're doing is I don't know, providing some distance support to them, I guess. So that's something I really want to keep in mind here. And you can see, I mean, Trucker just took some torpedoes, so we are going to have to watch out here, you know, be careful as to where we go, try to limit the damage we take here. Now, luckily for Trucker, he's able to repair the damage, and I think he still has a repair party left as well, so he's able to, you know, stay alive, so that's pretty great. But it's, again, another critical decision here. Am I going to go way off to the end, way off to the east of the map here and try and find this enemy destroyer? I know there's two, actually, because we saw two different spreads of torpedoes come. One 3 spread, so that's a Hatsuharu, and one 5 spread, that's an enemy Fletcher. So we have to keep that in mind as well. But again, bringing it back to providing screening support for my battleships, right? I'm not going to get so far away. And you can see I'm maneuvering around. I am opening up the distance between myself and my battleships, but I'm not actually going to go and let the islands come in between myself and the battleships. I'm going to keep them fairly close to me, so that wherever the battleships are, if the enemy destroyer pops up, hopefully I'm going to be able to engage that enemy destroyer and keep the enemy destroyer from doing any sort of sneaky runs on our battleships. I don't need Trucker and the other Iowa to go down. That would be very tragic indeed, especially at this point in time. The enemy still has a considerable lead, right? But suddenly it's almost as if the enemy team is just sort of taken aback as to what's happened, because we have pushed back. I mean, the enemies are all gone from the south except the 2 enemy destroyers. We have the cap advantage at this point in time, so we can just continue to take down more enemy ships. We might actually be able to take this victory out of this battle, rather. Now we can see more enemy torpedoes on the way in, so it was really good that I did decide to turn back right for my battleships, because those enemy torpedoes might have actually managed to hit me and do a bit more damage. If 1 hits me, I'm not going to die, but if 2 hits me, I definitely will die. So I want to be careful of that, and it's at this point in time that I was like, oh my god, Thotgor, you idiot, because I really thought I was going to eat one of those torpedoes, but then they ran out, so fantastic. Off in the distance, we caught a quick glimpse of an enemy Amagi that is on really, really low health. So immediately, myself and Trucker at least are really wanting to get over there to that Amagi and take that Amagi down, because that's a whole lot more points that we could use right now to really help us out. And we can see the Fletcher there as well, who's also on really, really low health. So if, you know, we can take it out, this again is going to really help us out and get that victory that we want. So we're pushing into B. We're going to help support the enemy Iowa that I have in front of me, and we still have Trucker in behind. Trucker was falling a little behind there, but I wanted to keep up with the lead battleship at this point in time, but not take the lead. I wanted to still be able to support Trucker, because you got to keep in mind that the enemy Hatsuharu, I don't know where the enemy Hatsuharu is at this time. Last we saw it, you know, it was down and around where we were. We will see later on that the enemy Hatsuharu has actually gone up with the enemy Fletcher, so they're up there, kind of, I don't know what they're doing there. There's the enemy Hatsuharu there, right? So anyway, we do see these 2 enemy destroyers. I really do want to take down the Fletcher, and I also want to take down the Amagi as well. I mean, that would be fantastic. But we're going to still play it safe here. I don't want to get killed, because that would just be so terrible. We're not in a position right now where we could really afford to lose an allied ship. It's only going to make things that much harder for us, really. So taking a look off in the distance, right, we do still see the Amagi, which is on really low health, but we also see the Admiral Hipper coming into view here as well, and coming into range. So immediately going to start putting shots into this Admiral Hipper, and we're going to try and take the Admiral Hipper down. Now I do have two Iowas supporting me here as well, one of them being Trucker, the other one being the other friendly Iowa, who's really helped out so far as well in this match. Then the enemy Hatsuharu pops up, and I decide, well, immediately I'm going to switch over to this Hatsuharu, get some quick shots off. I am switching over to high explosive at this point in time, so that's basically just clearing the barrels, but I was really hoping I might hit him with at least one shell there, but nope. And then my ally finishes off the Hatsuharu, so that's fantastic. We don't have to worry about the Hatsuharu now, it's just the Fletcher, and the Fletcher's on really, really low health, so this is good. Now the enemy Admiral Hipper is out here, right? So maneuvering around, I mean, the Admiral Hipper is a fairly maneuverable ship here, so it is fairly hard to land any shots on the Admiral Hipper, but I am continuing just to put shots in whenever I possibly can, but keeping in mind the overall objective here, right? Like, I really need, we really need to get more to the north and take out some of these enemy ships, because even though we're doing a great job at, like, pushing them back and you know, gaining the victory in the upper hand here, there still are quite a bit of points here to go, and killing more of these enemy ships is really going to help us out to get that end goal here. So you can see the Admiral Hipper is trying to maneuver against us, but there's a lot of shells coming in, and you really can't blame this guy for you know, ended up dying here, because you know, there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do against two Iowas and a rune raining down shells on you. I don't think the Admiral Hipper would be fast enough to be able to get out of our range. Maybe my range, maybe, but not the Iowas anyway. They will chase him down. So the Admiral Hipper took a big shot there. My shots come in, yeah, I hit him, but just bounced. So we just need a few more shots to hit him here, and then the Admiral Hipper will be gone, and there'll be one less enemy ship that we're going to have to worry about. There still is the Fletcher, and there still is the Amagi. Those are the two enemy ships that have very little health remaining. So those are the two enemy ships that we really want to get gone here. Once the Hipper's gone. So there we go. Hipper's gone. Fantastic. And now we're still not in the lead in points, but we've just finally closed it. Or at least we're in the same category here. So suddenly the battle is a lot closer than it was. Now the enemies still do have an Iowa, and the Iowa is on fairly good health right now. I think at least half health. The Fletcher, you know, is almost dead. Basically the wind blows on the Fletcher and he's going to die. Same thing with that Amagi. So things are looking pretty good at this point in time. So all three of us, myself, the other enemy, ally Iowa, and we got Trucker as well, we're all sort of converging now onto the C point up here in the north. We're going to try and do something about this battle here. Try and pull victory out. So we do see the enemy Iowa pop up. And, well, he's at, you know, a little under half health, I guess. But anyway, we're going to start lining up some shots on him, because he's giving me a pretty good broadside, right? It's just if I can get a little closer to him here, we'll bring him into my range, and so I'll be able to rain down some armor piercing and do some good damage on this Iowa as well. I know the rune is capable of doing some great damage on these Iowas, so yeah, shouldn't be an issue at all. But you can see it's hard here to aim, right? Because he's right at the edge. Rather, the player is right at the edge of my range and sailing away at an angle. So by the time my shells hit there, he's actually going to be out of my range. But now, you know, it's changing, because I am going at you know, steaming towards him at full speed here, trying to close the distance. Here we have some torpedoes on the way in, so we know the Fletcher is around here as well. Easily able to dodge those torpedoes though, so no big deal there at all. The enemy Iowa is still popping up, so we're going to continue to fire at the enemy Iowa. If the Fletcher pops up, I will start firing at the Fletcher immediately, just to get that player gone, right? Very, very low health. Now we are starting to cap the C cap here as well, so that's fantastic. And you can see the Fletcher, instead of actually, you know, trying to circle around us, maybe capping the A point to the south, is in fact invisifying at us here. So interesting call. But anyway, my team as well, with the killing of the Iowa, I think is now gone. We managed to take the lead here, right? 914 points to 787. So this is fantastic. We also capped the C points. This is also really, really good. We do see the Fletcher off in the distance, right, firing from somewhere over here. We still have the enemy Amagi. The points are such, though, that if we just take out this enemy Amagi, we should actually get victory. The enemy Amagi has decided to actually come to a stop. Whether this was planned or because there was islands in front of him, I have no idea, but it really did not work out for this player. Really didn't work out at all. So we have some final shots going into the enemy Amagi here. We're just waiting for one of us to land the hit here so we can actually finish this game. You can see Trucker shots go in. I don't know, they just didn't do enough damage. My shots came in right behind him, and I actually did manage to take the kill there. So battle is over, and we did manage to squeeze a victory out of that one. Oh my god. Anyway, I did manage 2 kills, 6,500 experience. I got the Dreadnought as well, which isn't too bad, 266,000 credits. Overall, I was 4th overall. Trucker was 3rd. You can see that T2K, so that was the other Iowa, 1st overall. Now you can see here what I was talking about in terms of damage done. I think it was under 50,000, which is pretty uncharacteristic for myself, but it was a really, really well played game, I thought, by the team. Well, by what was remaining of the team. Really managed to pull off victory there without really expecting it. And I finished the May monthly marathon thing finally. Anyway, leave any comments you have for me in the video comment section below. Love reading those. Hit the old like button if you did like today's video. Hit subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And as always, I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.